Good afternoon, good afternoon. Nino, take over. I'll be back
Oh,
in 2 minutes, okay?
okay, okay, bro. Hello, hello, my bro Lucas. How are you? Just gonna send the link here to the Discord. Go. Good afternoon, my bro Jay. How are you? Good week of holiday in Turkey with family. Now finally back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back. Back in the building. Back in the building to kill these markets this week. Finally. Finally, it's Monday. So tired of the weekend, you know. So tired, guys, of the weekend. I want to start the week, you know. And you guys, how are you? How was your weekend? Nice weekend, nice rest. You guys have a nice rest. You guys are ready to kill these markets this week. Should be a very nice week. I think this week gonna be clean, you know. Let me take a look. Yeah, should be a very clean week. Ooh, we're gonna have news Wednesday, I think. Yeah, news on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Should be a volatile week. Sheesh. Let's hope. Let's hope. Even right now, I'm gonna bitch. Damn, man. Nice, bro. Nice mic. You're on vacation, so? Or you just like live close to the beach? Yeah, mate. Okay, bro. Okay, very nice. Hope you have a good vacations, bro. Yeah, man. Here we kind of don't take rest, you know. Just on December, we take some like 1 or 2 weeks, you know. But even on December last year, the market conditions was kind of good, you know, because like our strategy is like tested for we to trade all of the year, even when the market has like not too much volatility. We always like kind of trade, you know. Bro, don't trade drunk, bro. That's dangerous, man. Start spamming that buy and sell orders, bro. Oh, bro, that's funny, man. Yeah, bro, but today should be a nice day. We don't have like nothing to like kind of worry about the news. Should be a very clean day. Should be a clean day. Go back to the live stream. Yeah. EA again is taking his fuel, you know. Coffin hit. You are in cause. Cause, where is cause, bro? It's like Kosovo. Ooh, bro. It's on Greek. Damn, bro. Kosovo looks good. Damn, man. Very clean. Damn. Yeah, bro. Damn. Very nice beaches, bro, over there. Very nice, bro. In Portugal, we have some nice beaches too. You know, like to the south, you know, we have a pretty good, very nice Misties Ramirez beach. Steer. Yeah, if you come back, you know, if it was like the second time, it should be good normally. Let me take a look, bro. Yeah, bro. It's a very nice, man. Very chill. Cause, oh, okay, that's you, Lucas. Okay, I think this was Mike. Damn, guys, looks like everyone on this live stream goes to Kosovo. But yeah, man. This year, yeah, we should like take some vacations, you know, on December. This time is the best, like in Europe, you know. It was the best time to vacations in Europe, you know. What? Looks like these guys are on, like, are visiting the same hotels too. Oh man. Yeah, that was the best time to like take some vacations, like in Europe. Portugal is very good in this time too. Like the south of Portugal. You guys might even know, like Algarve. Algarve, you know, people normally some people like from UK, from America, they always visit Portugal on vacations. That's very usual to see Americans and people from UK here. Yeah. Bro, you should come. Should come, is very nice, bro. Very nice. You can go to Algarve. Like Algarve, it's like more people, you know. If it's good, if you want to take like a week off, you know. If you go, if you want to take like a week, you can go to Port. If you want to take like 2 weeks, want to like more party, more kind of that stuff, you know, like party and all of that stuff. You can go to can go to Algarve, you know. It was like as a very active nightlife, you know. Yeah, you can go to Algarve, but if you want to like a peaceful place, a very peaceful place, like to clear mind, you know, not too much people, you can go to Peniche, Porto Covo. You can go to these kind of places, you know. It's very chill places. You don't have like too much of a nightlife. You have nightlife, you know, but not too much. You has been on a jet ski buggy. Looks like this guy's gonna rent a yacht. One time, guys, we're gonna do a meeting on a yacht. All the people here in live stream. We're gonna have a meet on a yacht, you know? Should be fun, man. Imagine on a day. Hello, Khalid. How are you, my bro? We are good over here. Hope all have good trades today. Yeah, man. We are just waiting. You guys know that we just take trades after 1:30. So we are just kind of chill, entering the mood, you know, active a little bit. I'll go free home, you know. Ship for the other.
What's happening, my people? What's happening? Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? What's happening, Nuno? What's happening?
Hello, my bro.
What's up? What's up? What's happening, Kuwais, Meili, Moss, Raj, Samir, SJ, Uber, everyone else watching on the YouTube live stream. Good afternoon. How was everyone's weekend? Got my 4 shots here as well. But yeah, it seems like a clean day ahead of us today. What's happening? Who's on the YouTube live chat? What's happening, Lucas, Jay, Mike? He says he's he's watching from the beach. Amazing, bro. Amazing. We got Ephraim. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Khalid, Jay, Felix, Sameh, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How was everyone's weekend, guys? Are you guys ready for the week ahead of us? Should be lovely. Not a single USD bank holiday, so we should have the whole week ahead of us. Got CPI coming in on Wednesday as well. Lovely stuff. Then we've got news coming in on Thursday, core PPI, and then we will end Friday with again news at 3 o'clock. So the last 3 days of the week are guaranteed volatile days, right? What's the intraday looking like today? Oh boy, starting to dump a lot. Oh, this is the NY Open dodginess kicking in, right? Love to see it. Love to see it. Most likely, then they want to take the intraday bullish. Most likely, yeah. Bro, I saw you on Saturday driving through Canary. You did? Really? That's amazing. What time did you see me? I think on Saturday. Yeah, you might have seen me. I had to quickly come to my office just to pick something up. You might have seen me either going to my office or yeah, I was around there. But what's happening, my people? Hope everyone's doing good. But yeah, again, guys, you guys can see the intraday is actually quite small at the moment. It's only moved about roughly like 90 pips. Let's give another like couple minutes before we start looking for something, because this is the first initial dodgy play in the markets which we anticipate. You know, take over for 2 minutes, my bro. Let me just finish my coffee, okay?
Okay, don't worry. Let me end the conversation in the game and no shit for the ad. I'll go for home, we don't know. On the vacations, bro, I can't promise, you know, because, you know. But yeah. Yeah, normally this dodginess. And right, dodginess is kicking in. Let's see. Damn, it's dropping hard. Small world. We have 30 people here. Guys, drop a like on the stream. Let's catch a very nice trade today. As usual. And yeah.
I gotta get my 4 shots in, man, before anything.
Looks like NY Wolfman is doing some damage.
Woof. Damn, they're trying to give you
Our
that.
like target for today is like 40, 50 people.
They're trying to give you that intraday
I think
range,
that's a
basically.
good target for today. Monday
what's
live
happening?
stream.
You know what's happening? Yeah, sorry, I was muted on the Zoom.
Okay, okay.
My bad, guys. I forgot to mute myself on the YouTube live stream, so you guys could probably hear me drink my coffee. Apologies. Oh, they're trying to give you that intraday range on there. I can see it. So on the actually, let's go based off the monthly quickly, because it is the new week now. So essentially, looking at the monthly candle, it seems quite indecisive, right? This monthly candle that we have at the moment. We look at the range on this, we're technically starting to retest this 50% level, and so it seems quite indecisive at the moment. So what we need to try and figure out is now if they will give you that upper wick retest again, and they're essentially just forming that sort of low on the monthly, or if they will start to reject this area here and start to give you a retest to the lows now. So on the monthly, the main key level for us will be the 1918.75, like yeah, around 75 level. Let's mark this out, 1918.75. So again, look at your monthly candle at the moment, right? It's quite indecisive. It's got an upper wick and it's also got a bottom wick. So it'll be, how much has this 30-minute push down? It's just selling off, man. Crazy, bro. Oof, 72 pips, 73 pips. See, this is where they doing some sort of, this is the thing with NY Open, right? Always does something dodgy. So if they now start to give you a dodgy play, most likely, think about it, right? With the half one, they could give you a full correction just right all the way back up, and this could just be your intraday lows forming. And then what they could be doing is they could be forming some sort of a fake out from down here, because again, this monthly level is a major level for us, right? And if you actually look at the range on the monthly, the next key level becomes your 1900 level, well, just a little bit above 1900, your 1902. And you know, within this whole monthly range, we've got other key levels as well, but keeping it very simple, we know that this was very achievable. This level here is very achievable because the monthly candle that's open has already given you this range to the downside, right? So it's something we can most definitely anticipate. But again, even looking at the previous weekly, two ways this candle here can start to form now. Either this candle here starts to form as a support candle, and now the next candle, which obviously is the candle we are trading, starts to respect the support candle, gives you that wick fill break, or this candle here ends up closing as a breather candle, and this turns into a breather candle if obviously this open candle starts to break the lows. So it really just depends now what they want to do here, right? So again, as traders, we need ranges, and you know, if let's say certain ranges do start to get violated, then we know the probability of gold dropping will increase. And I think the major key level which we have at the moment is this 1918 level, because we've got the same range on the monthly as well as the weekly. So I really want to see what sort of reactions we get at 1918, because again, this is your monthly 50% as well as your weekly 50%. So the probabilities of markets dropping from here are very high if we start to see some sort of a confirmation, right? And the probabilities of markets actually going up is also very high. It depends what sort of a reaction we get at this major key level, which again being the monthly 50% area, right? So that's where if we go back to our daily now, we understand that gold averages are about 200 pips every single day, and this daily is moved about 100 pips now. So think about it, right? We have another 100 pips in the tank, so they could still give you essentially another drop down to 1915, which being a major psychological level. We understand the concepts of $5 key levels, right? So there is a chance that they could give you 1915, just grab a lot of liquidity, you know, cheapest price possible. Is the new week is also, they do need to grab some sort of liquidity in the markets, right, before they give you some sort of a clean move in the markets. So what they could do is they could grab the cheapest price possible, and then from there start pumping the price back up. Because if we go back to our playbook now, what's it called, stream members, I think it should be this one here if I'm not, there it is. Essentially what we are seeing at the moment is we've actually seen this happen many times before. It's the monthly 50% retest. Maybe we have monthly, do we have the M 50% or no? We'll just use the weekly 50%. W 50% retest. Okay, so again, as I showed you guys earlier, the monthly range as well as the weekly range is actually the same range. Your monthly candle and your weekly candle pretty much has the same range, right? So now this is your previous weekly 50% area, and you are also aligning it with the monthly 50% area. So the scenario which potentially is setting up is the retest. And if this is just a retest and this is just a pullback in the markets, because again, remember, markets have to move in waves, right? So if, let's say, we are trading bullish structure, which it clearly is, right? You've got a massive bullish candle here giving you a bullish closure on Friday, end of the week, and then we understand that there was accumulation over the weekend, and you know the way price action moves, it moves in waves, right? So this is your leg up and this is the leg down, and this is where we start to look at the 50% levels, right? Because we're expecting those 50% levels to be the key levels. You know, those are the areas we want to see price starting to reject from. So again, 50% level being here now. If we see some sort of a decent confirmation now from here, some sort of a massive bullish candle forming, which could be the next 130 candle, because we understand that the 1 o'clock candle always does something dodgy, and we've back tested it many times now, and then the half one candle usually goes the opposite way. If we start to see some sort of a decent support forming back above these key levels now, I think we can take it all the way back up to the intraday highs. I think that's definitely a possibility. And then you've got obviously the new 4H coming up as well in the next 30 minutes. And that's always a one-sided play, right? It gives you a minimum pullback and it just starts to go one way. So if, let's say, the next 4H is bullish, then we can most definitely see some sort of a retest of this area here. The minute we see a break above this, then you've got the Wakefield area up here, right? Which is the previous weekly highs. And you know, again, what are these wicks? These wicks are destinations, right? So at the moment, to the downside, you know, what could your destination be? Well, as I said, you've got the 1915 level creeping just down here, which is again that $5 key level for us, right? This is what that's what institutionals trade based on, right? You know, because they have algos in place. Obviously they've got manual traders you know, managing those algos, but again, it's very simple, right? So as soon as they start to retest this 15 level, either they will take some orders off or they will start to increase the order flow. If they start to increase the order flow, then you will again see markets just picking up more bearish momentum, or they will start taking some orders off. If they do start taking some orders off, that's where we should start to experience some sort of a pullback, right? And if the pullback is very aggressive, then most likely is because the order flow is switching as we see more momentum to the top side, right? So it really just depends what we see in the markets, right? It really just depends. So again, as intraday traders now, as scalpers, what we need to do is we need to establish our daily range, being the daily highs up here now. Let's mark this out. The daily lows being all the way down here now. And what we need to now do is we need to essentially look for something within this range, right? Again, this range being 100 pips, right? So we have a 100 pip range on a daily, and again, we understand that the daily can give you at least 200 pips at average every single day. Going based off the previous daily candle, we have also retested the correction area, and we've gone past the correction area, and this is where this is becoming a deeper pullback, right? And again, you need a deeper pullback, right? You really do, when especially when it's the new week, is the first day back. You need some sort of a deeper pullback, right? It makes plenty of sense. So again, now, if we are to turn bullish in the markets, we need this candle here to start rejecting from the lows. And at this point now, we are also retesting this monthly 50% area, right? Otherwise, another thing I can see is some sort of a deeper retest to the downside, right? Because we do have this imbalance down here, which again, we did, you know, discussed last week as well. We did not see a retest down here of 1910.97. So this will be your 4H imbalance area. So again, we've got imbalance area to the downside as well. So there is a very high chance we can also see a price, you know, selling off. Usually we do not look for any sort of sell-offs if, let's say, gold is trading at intraday lows, right? But again, when you understand that the range has another 100 pips in the tank, it makes plenty of sense for you to actually look for a sell position as well, right? So this is your half one open now. Again, you're seeing a closure below the monthly 50%. You do have some sort of a range to the downside as well, for sure. It can start selling off, but I think it will be best to just wait, because again, it does not have any sort of an upper wick just yet. So I want to see what sort of a retest we get. If we do get a decent retest, you've got two scenarios setting up, as I mentioned earlier. Either you will see this 4H now just selling off down to your 1915 level, which is approaching just down here. You've got your 4H imbalance area down here as well, right? All the way down here, which is, yes, all the way down here. We've got the 4H imbalance area. Give me a second, let me go back to the 30 minutes as well. Yeah, you've got a lot of choppiness here though. Looking to the left, yeah, again, you guys can see this being respected as a resistance. You've got this support area here as well. See, you do have technically a lot of rejections approaching to the downside. So if you can technically align them with that 1915 level, and we see some sort of a rejection from 1915 and a closure back above this 50% level that we have, again, looking to the left, we have this support area here. I think if we can get decent closure above this area here, and price can start to reject these key levels of ours, again, it depends how the candle closes, right? If it gives us some sort of a bullish closure, engulfing bullish candle, I think it will be a very decent scenario to the top side, right? Again, look at the clues that markets are giving us, right? Major clue being there is no upper wick on this candle here. So we understand the nature of price action, right? It's because there's a lot of momentum in the markets now. They're essentially just opening the markets and selling them off. But as soon as we start to see markets, exhausting, that's when you will see price coming back up, and it will give you that sort of upper wick. So we've got plenty and plenty of scenarios setting up. You've got the sell position setting up. Again, for the sell positions, keeping it very simple, you need to see a 50% retest of this candle, and from there potentially a sell-off can set up. Again, that would be your 4H 50% retest, right? Pullback. Well, obviously this will be a pullback, right? Since the 4H candle is technically bearish. So if, let's say, we start to see price spiking up, we will consider this a pullback. But either this will be a pullback or it will be a breakout as soon as we start to retest the 21 level. Once we retest the 21 level, either it will start to sell off again or it will start to break past that level. So again, we've got 4H 50% breakout, or we got the 4H 50% pullback scenario. So these are the two scenarios which we have, and we can trade them for sure. And again, you've got different confluences here now. You've got the psychological level here, which we are starting to approach, 1915. Let's be precise with it, and let's mark out 1915 on the dot. Okay, that's your 1915 level on the dot now, marked out very nicely. That's the 1915 level, and yeah, let's see what happens now. What sort of a reaction we get in the markets over here. Going back to the intraday again, let's look at your daily range quickly. As I mentioned earlier, either you will see this candle here engulfing the previous candle, and that's where you will see this scenario here setting up, the fake out scenario setting up here, not respecting the lows of the previous candle. Otherwise, what we can again experience in the markets is the deeper pullback. So you've got to understand there are different key levels, right, which price can retest before again shooting back up. The first level being the monthly 50% area, the weekly 50% area. And then in order for them to make the bullish structure invalid, they need to give you some sort of a closure below this and break the structure lows, right? Even if they do break the structure lows, it doesn't make the bullish structure invalid, because this could just be a liquidity play in the markets, right? So they could just essentially take out a lot of liquidity here, a lot of the orders get taken out, and then once they start to give you a closure below this, the next candle just opens and pumps back up, causing a clean fake out from the lows, right? So there are different scenarios, but if, let's say, we understand that that's one of the scenarios, we can most definitely start aiming for the downside as well. So in order for us to look for the downside play, as I mentioned earlier, we need to see some sort of a pullback in the markets, because we can't just start selling the lows, right? Especially when this candle does not have an upper wick, because that would be a very silly trade, right? Because we understand that there is a very high chance they can start pumping back up, right? So let's wait for this to set up just a little bit more, and from there we will see what we can do. Let's measure out the range on this 4H. Got the lows just down here now. Your daily is actually starting to increase once again, and you've got the new 4H coming up, which is again just around the corner. It is a Monday. You know, a lot of the times people actually don't trade on Mondays. People also don't trade on Fridays, because these are the days, right? They're either going to make you or they're going to break you. It's very, very simple, right? If let's say you take a massive loss today, which is again not a calculated loss, it's a silly loss, guess what that does? It destroys your psychology as a trader. So these days either make you or they break you. So especially on Mondays, you want to practice the right things, right? You want to be very disciplined as a trader. You want to put yourself in the right sort of place, you know, psychologically, so then you are ready to deal with the price action for the rest of the week. Because price action is actually quite intense when you're trading based off just pure price action and there's no indicators. You've got to be on point, right? And so again, this requires you to be in a very good mental state. Look at price now, again dropping, got a closure below the monthly 50%. Looking at the 4H as well, we have a breakout below the previous 4H lows, and at this point we've got the major imbalance area just down here, which being your 1910 key level. So let's say if we do start breaking past the 1915 key level, most likely you will see 1910 getting retested, and that's where you have your, again, imbalance on the 4H as well. So there is a high chance of us seeing something like that playing out. But again, I would rather stay out of this than capitalize on this, because there is no upper wick here, major imbalance. There is a very high chance that price will come back up to retest the highs, right? Very high chance of that happening. Got the daily trading at 1916 at this point, 1914. You've got the daily support all the way down here as well. But yeah, I think this will be a very clean scenario. Either a sell position setting up from here, if we can get this, is a very high probability trade, right? Part of our playbook, it will be a pullback up to the 50% area, and then from there we can start selling the markets. And the thing is, if we do see a sell position setting up from the 50% area, you've got plenty of range, honestly. As you guys can see, we've got plenty of range to the downside. Let's say we do see something setting up even from this support area here. Not only that you've got the wick fill, you've also got the area past the wick fill, which again being the 4H imbalance area, and you've got the next 4H coming up. It's just around the corner now. So let's see. There is potential in the markets today, but again, patience. You need to have patience today in order for you to actually execute on something. But how's everyone doing though, guys? Did you guys take anything so far, or is everyone still waiting for a position as well? Let me know in the chat. It's getting a little bit keep waiting. Very nice. What are you guys looking for? You guys looking for I'm still waiting, no positions yet? That's amazing. Are you guys only sticking to the NY sessions, by the way, or are you guys trading any other sessions as well? Because I do recommend that most of you guys, if you obviously do follow us, stick to our session. Because guys, the thing with gold is that every session has different behaviors. Even if it's just like one pair that you're trading, every session has different behaviors, right? So London session will bring different sorts of behaviors in terms of, like, you know, there will be different sort of liquidity grabs in the markets, you know, different sort of momentum will kick in. So there's so many things you need to pay attention to. But when you kind of like just stick to one session, right, you take all the noise out, right? You're just super focused on that one pair, the one session, and then what that does for you is, you know, there is no mastery in trading, but you become really good at spotting some things. And you know, that's what trading is about. You just keep on spotting the stuff that works out, you know, essentially your high probability setups, and you just take them again and again. Been trading since pre-London. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So you trade the London session and the NY session on gold. Have you taken any positions? No positions yet? Okay. No rush, waiting for a buy more likely. That's what we like to hear. Yeah, I mean, the buy positions can play out very, very nicely. And, the session has just started. You've got the new 4H coming up, which is just around the corner now. Usually with the new 4H, that's when our positions start to set up, either with the 4H or the NYSE. You got to understand, we've got easily another 2-3 hours before, our session comes to an end. So, there's no need for anyone to rush into any positions. At the moment, they're just giving you that sort of intraday range. And once we have the intraday range, that's when we start looking for our positions. Again, look at this candle here now. Remember, I told you guys, if we do see a nasty rejection setting up from the 1915 level, which again is all the way here. Let me just mark out 1915. And again, if they want to break past 1915, they need to start taking price below 1914. So from 1915 till 1914, I still will consider the 1915 level being respected, right? Until they actually start breaking past the 1914 level, which is 10 pips below 1915. So in order for them to actually make this 1915 level invalid, they need to start breaking past the 1914 level, which being more than 10 pips, right? That's when I would say, okay, cool, you know what? We've actually violated the 1915 level now, and we're starting to come down to 1910. Until then, I think this level here is still being respected. And again, look at this as well, guys. Look at this. Being respected. Being respected. Everything is being respected. Everything is being respected so far, right? But yeah, I think a clean buy position could set up. It's just a waiting game. It's basically just a waiting game. If we can get something along the lines of, let's say, because we will have a big target to the top side, right? And if we can get something like this setting up, I'll be a big fan of it. I don't mind giving it a 30-40 pip SL, because I would like to secure a intraday position if I can, because there is a Monday and it can run up a lot. I understand the nature of the markets on Mondays and Fridays. Either Mondays and Fridays, that's where you sort of see those freaky moves, right? It gives you like a crazy one-sided play, and you can capitalize on so many pips, honestly. And you've got the new 4H coming up. Like, what are the chances of price just opening and pumping up from here? Two things again can play out. Either they give you a closure below this area, next candle just drops for the rest of the session. Otherwise, again, I can really see a 4H double bottom fake out forming. That's something we trade so often. So if we start to see a 4H double bottom forming, again, what's the first area price will retest if it forms a double bottom? Guess what? The 4H 50%. The previous 4H 50%. So you will have plenty of range to the top side. I found a chance in London session, but I've decided to stick with NY. So discipline. That's what we like to see. Looking for buys when NY opens. Okay, hopefully you mean by New York Stock Exchange open, because NY open, it opened 43 minutes ago. Hopefully they haven't changed the time again, have they? Time in New York. It should be 8. Yeah, New York open is 8 o'clock NY time. So in London it's 1 p.m. So 1 p.m. UK time. What pair is this? This is gold, XAUUSD, gold against the US dollar. This is gold. We are trading gold here, but we've got another 15 minutes left, 16 minutes left before the new 4H. And with the new 4H, we should be able to have some fun for sure. Is it XAUUSD? That's correct. This is XAUUSD. It is gold. Yes. It's a very volatile pair. If you don't know what you are doing, we recommend you stay away from taking any trades and learn before you execute. Just try and learn how the pair actually moves and how it reacts. You only trade gold? Yes, I only trade gold, guys. Again, I believe in sticking with one thing and trying to become as good at it as you can, rather than, dabbling into 15 different pairs and you don't understand anything. You kind of just have a strategy that you're using on all the pairs. I don't believe in that. I believe in having one pair, one strategy, and just sticking with it. And gold is so volatile. I don't need to trade anything else. You can easily hit your weekly targets, your monthly targets. You know, do you want to make 10% a month, 20% a month? You know, you can do those targets on gold, so you don't need to trade anything else. Imagine if I had like 20, 30 pairs here now. I'll be all over the place. As a trader, you need to operate from a very calm psychological state. So imagine if I had like 10, 20 pairs open. I'm like, okay, cool. I might have an opportunity on GJ in the next 2 minutes. I might have an opportunity on gold in the next 3 minutes. It's just my mind will be all over the place. That's too much noise. As a trader, your whole thing is that you need to cut the noise out. You need to just be very calm, let the price come to you, and yeah, that's what we are doing now. We've got the scenarios plotted, and we just wait for the price to come to us. The minute it does, we'll execute. We'll have some fun with it, and that's what trading is about. But yeah, we've got a couple more minutes left before the new 4H. Let's just let it form a low before we start looking for anything. I'm gonna quickly go grab water. I'll be back in 2 minutes, Nuno. Okay?
Okay, bro. Okay. Yeah, guys, the thing is waiting and waiting for our best confirmation setup. And yeah, execute with no hesitation. Always, always, always. And yeah, most important thing, the timing in the session. You need to understand the timing, you know. Because as you know, the first 30 minutes always do something dodgy, and that's where we kind of waiting for that to happen. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen, but majority of the times it happens, you know. Yeah, that's the thing. Launch with code. Yeah. What's that emoji? Golden? It says pre-order, bro. Damn. That's crazy, bro. That's too much hours, man. Golden. You know? Me waiting. Should be a very nice position today. On Mondays, we always like to be a little bit more conservative. Even normally the impulsive plays normally works on Mondays, you know. So, but yeah. Ooh, starting to see some rejections. Let's see. Some rejections are playing out. Some rejections. Playing out. So guys, we are 40 people here. Hit the like button. Our target for today is like 40, 50 people. I think it's pretty achievable. 40, 50 people. Like target. Because yeah, guys, it helps us a lot. Like if you guys like the stream, the algorithm gonna push the stream up, you know. And yeah, if you guys know, this is like the real way of trading, you know, not all the clones that we have, because they kind of operate the same manner, you know. It's like different, good risk rewards. And yeah, gonna push the stream up.
Yes, sir. What were you guys talking about?
I'm talking about like the likes to push the stream up, you know.
Yes,
the algorithm always push the stream up, so
yeah. At the end of the day, it's a combined effort. You know, everyone that's watching us, we consider you guys part of the team, so only you guys can help us, you know. Again, got plenty of range to trade within, which is really good for us. and they haven't even given you our 200 pip range on gold just yet. So think about it, guys. Think about it. You've got plenty of range to trade within, and they haven't even given you our 200 pip range. So, you've got about 150, 160 pips altogether now on the intraday. So imagine a nice fake out forming from actually down here, and you start to see gold actually going past the 50% area. It will be such a clean setup all the way back up to the daily highs, because again, the daily is still bullish. The daily is still bullish. Your weekly at this point though is again bullish. Even though I can see the fake outs forming, I really can. And if you actually look at the monthly, what they've done is they've given you a very decent upper wick on the monthly, so that the chances of us coming down to the monthly lows are super high. But again, we need to see some sort of a confirmation on the monthly 50% area, the weekly 50% area, and the confirmations we need to see are intraday confirmations, or at least even a 4H confirmation. What time frame is this? What pair is this? Bro, you're asking questions which cannot be answered. We use different time frames. It really depends. At the moment, I'm on the 30-minute time frame. Then I'm on the 4H. Just try and watch the stream and go back on it if you're new to trading. Go back on it, and then this way it will be very educational for you guys, because the minute the stream here will end, we will post it on the YouTube as well, so you can always go back and watch the sessions. So it could be very educational. Pause the videos and then you can look at the time frames all the way up here. Wait, hold up, you guys can see it, right? Yeah, look, this is where the time frames are, right here. You got the new 4H coming up. It's just around the corner. We should be able to have some fun with the new 4H for sure. Again, we are anticipating a retest to the top side. Look at the way they are starting to give you a rejection from the 1915 key level now. So again, this candle has, let's everyone agree on one thing, that this candle has done its job. It has done its job, right? So now what can the next candle do? Well, the job of the next candle is to either give you a retest of this 50% level, which again, also aligning perfectly with the monthly 50% as well as the weekly 50%. And if we can get a retest of the monthly 50% and again the 50% on the 4H, and we see some sort of a resistance being established up there, and then again they start to sell the markets, guess what? I'm interested in those impulsive entries as well if we do see a 15-minute resistance forming up here. So either we see our resistance forming up here and then we start selling the markets, or we see some sort of a breakout past this area and then we start targeting the highs, the daily highs, because the daily hasn't even moved about 100 pips altogether. So there is a very high chance that they can actually fill the imbalance in. Or what they could do is they could actually just break the lows now with the new 4H open, maybe give you that spike down, retest the 4H imbalance area, and that's when they can start forming the double bottom scenario. So we've got different scenarios here setting up for sure. We just have to wait for the confirmations now, and as soon as the confirmations are here, let's take it. Again, interested in taking 2 trades today. See if we can start the week on a good note. Okay, yes, you can always go back on it. But yeah, guys, you see with trading, it's a very simple business if you don't overcomplicate it. All you do is you wait for your setups to show up, and you always let them come to you. You never sort of chase the price, you never run off to the price, because the minute now you start running off to the price, as an example, let's say, right, I'm starting to FOMO now, and I'm running off to the price. Guess what that would do for me? That would kind of like affect my psychological state, because now I'm seeing the markets from a desperate perspective rather than you don't ever want to be desperate. When you're trading, right, you want to be very calm, you want to let the price come to you. But when you're desperate and you're very needy, that's when you get into trouble, because then you're convincing yourself to see something that's not there. At the moment, I don't see anything that I like, right? I can potentially see something setting up in the next couple minutes, but until I see that, I'm not going to take anything, right? 1 minute, 5 minute time frame, guys. Yeah, we used to trade the 1 minute time frame, but not anymore. The 1 minute time frames are quite dangerous, to be fair. And again, if you're looking for a one clean trade or 2 clean trades, you don't need to really trade the 1 minute time frame, because it is a bit tricky, to be honest with you. You need to have a lot of experience, right, in order for you to deal with a 1 minute time frame, because man, it can really destroy you. Because I'll be so honest with you guys, I don't think a lot of people can actually handle trading on the 1 minute time frame, because you can get taken out literally in a snap. And if you get taken out, that's where, are you disciplined enough to just say no? And again, with the 1 minute time frames, because your stop losses are so small, you can get massive slippage. And imagine, like, you're risking £1,000 on a trade, £100 on a trade, you got taken out in 2 seconds because you were wrong. And after getting taken out, not only that, you also lost more than what you intended on losing, and that's not in your control. So when you kind of stay away from these lower time frames, you're just doing yourself a favor, in my opinion. So yeah, we do recommend that you stay away from the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frame. But does anyone here actually trade on the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frame? Let me know in the chat. And if you guys do, are you guys also successful? Are you guys profitable? Let me know. No. Okay. No, too much FOMO. Yeah, that's the thing. I've also noticed with 1 minute, you get so much FOMO because the candles are moving so quick. And again, at the end of the day, no matter how much experience you have, you still will be a human being. You know, obviously to a certain extent, I don't think you can ever numb the emotions of money, like the emotions that come with trading. But what you can do is, you can't numb the emotions, but you start to control yourself a little bit more. You know, you can still experience the emotions, but you are conscious with the way you feel. I think you have to get to a point where you're conscious of all the emotions that you feel as a trader, because a lot of the times these are subconscious emotions and they kind of affect you, right? Does that make sense? What's going on, bro? Good morning. Hey, what's happening, my brother? What's happening, Zoe? What's happening, bro? Hope you're good. But 15 minutes, yeah, 15 minutes is really decent. Really decent. Morning, my brother. 30 minutes also quite decent. You get good confirmations because gold is super volatile. So if you are to look for positions, again, 15-minute confirmations are decent. 30-minute confirmations are decent. We are only liquidity to the markets. Exactly. 95% of the retail traders are liquidity. That's correct. You are completely right when you say that. But again, you know, if you understand the stats are, you know, the stats, the odds are stacked up against us, you just let them take everyone out. Once everyone has been taken out, that's when you just jump on and you just scale in. And again, you just stay humble. You're in and out, like secure small profits on daily basis. As long as your profits are consistent, that's all you need. What broker do you use? We've got different brokers. It really depends. I think the broker we use, the US clients can't use the brokers, can they? You know, the US clients is not, it's not something they can use. Look at the drop of next 4H candle. Oh yeah, the next 4H candle is coming up in the next 2 minutes. Let's see if it drops, because it could again form the double bottom, which again I did discuss earlier. Let me annotate on the screen, show you guys how they usually form the double bottoms. What they can do is, because this being your lows now, again the 4H is such a volatile open, right? A lot of spikiness kicks in with it, so they can technically just take the price down, give you a retest of this key area here being the support area, as well as you can again see another rejection, and you've got the 4H imbalance here. So what they can do then is they can give you some sort of a bullish closure, which kind of spikes all the way back up to the daily highs. So this is something which we can see in the next couple minutes. But again, we've got this level here that we have to deal with. If we start to go past it, then there is a possibility of this forming. And then you've also got these key levels that you have to deal with. So these are all the levels that you have to deal with first, right? And so that's where some sort of confirmations are required in the markets. And I think the safest confirmation that we can look for if we are interested in taking a buy position, it will be above the monthly 50% area. Maybe a bullish closure above this, and the next candle needs to start breaking above the highs. So look at the way it's opening now. It has a very low, very small low, which is your tiny bottom wick. Again, you are opening at the 1914 level. What did I tell you guys? As long as we are respecting the 1914 level, technically your 1915 level is being respected, right? So look at the way price closed, right? Even though it gave you a retest of 1912, it ended up still closing at around 1914, right? Technically still respecting this key level. So now if price starts to open here and they start to spike it all the way back up to 1920 and start taking it past 1920, there's a very high chance if we see a closure above this and the next candle starts to break the highs, there's a very high chance we will spike all the way back up. So that's the trade we are interested in, right? So let's wait for it to set up and see what we can do. Should be a very fun session. Once again, we have a massive range. So again, let me put this on the screen as well, what we are looking for. So either a closure above this for a buyer position. Looking to the left, we do have this resistance level here, have this resistance level here. So if we can get a closure above this, we are interested in a buy position. Until then, we are looking for a reversal from up here, right? Because you've got the monthly 50% area, the weekly 50% area, and we don't want to get trapped here. So if we don't want to get trapped here, we need some sort of a decent confirmation here, because again, look at this candle here, right? This candle here could just give you an upper wick and then again start to reject the markets from up here, right? And then start selling them because we don't even have a 200 pip range. The only time I think I will look for a confirmation from down here is if they form a double bottom. They break the lows, they start to retest this imbalance area at 1910 and then start rejecting the price and then start to give you a closure back above these highs. I think that's when I'll be interested in a buy position from down here. Until then, the confirmations which I am looking for, I will see them forming from up here. The monthly 50% area, the weekly 50% area, and again being your 4H 50% area, because that's part of the playbook, right? We have to keep our trading very simple and systematic. So this is our 4H candle, and the highs are up here and the lows are all the way down here. Yeah, you guys can see it. Perfect, very precise. And now you've got the 50% level, which is all the way here now, right? So we technically need to see some sort of a confirmation above your 35 level, 19.35 level. Once we have a decent confirmation above this, that's when I will look for a buy position if we get a closure above this. Until then, as I said, you could also see a reversal from up here. So if potentially we can see a reversal from up here, then, you know, guess what? Let's look for that resistance to be established as soon as we see a retest here, some sort of a resistance forming, and then we'll look for a sell-off. So again, how would that look? It could potentially look like a breather candle, right? We see a bullish breather candle forming up here somewhere, leaving a massive upper wick to the top side as well as to the downside, right? You know, it seems like there is some sort of indecision. If let's say that it seems like there's some sort of indecision in the market up here, you see a breather candle, right? It's a bullish candle, but it's very indecisive. And then the next candle, if the next candle starts to break the lows and it forms something like this, let's say it opens here, it just starts to break the lows, then guess what? That's the entry we are interested in to the downside. Or if we have a breather candle and the next candle starts to break the breather candle to the top side, then guess what? That's your entry to the top side, because we've got plenty and plenty of range, either to the top side or to the downside. This will be your buy position or this will be your sell position. But that's the area of interest, that's the area of interest for us today, right? That's the area I'm interested in. You know, this is our key level, and anything that sets up from here will be a high probability trade. Anything below this now, we could potentially capitalize on the 4H imbalance area. If they give you a retest of this area, again, maybe form some sort of a decent bullish candle, like with a massive rejection from down here, engulfing bullish closure. Next candle gives us a minimum pullback, starts to break above the highs. Obviously, we can also target the 4H 50% area, and the SOs can go below the engulfing candle, right? The support candle being this candle here. Until then, I think we will just have to stay out of the markets. These are the two things I am interested in. Again, understand that you've got the New York Stock Exchange approaching in next couple minutes as well. So with NYSE, there will be a lot of volatility, right? It brings a lot of volatility into the market. So if these set up with the NYSE, then imagine what we can do, guys. We don't even have a 200 pip range on gold. We've got plenty and plenty of range, either to the top side or to the downside. And again, let me show you this again. It's only a 150 pip range, so there is a very high chance they can start breaking above the daily highs, and then they can bring the price all the way up to your 1930 or 1931, it depends. Or they can still break the lows, give you the double bottom to the downside, bring the price down just a little bit more, and then start rejecting it. Or they could bring it all the way down to 1905 and then reject it. So you guys can see it. There are plenty of scenarios setting up. We just kind of have to wait for them. That's all it is. This will be your 200 pip range to the downside if they start retesting 1908, 1907 level, which again, we can see some sort of support area here. Also, there is a very high chance that they can grab some sort of liquidity, right? Because think about it, where are all the stop losses? If people are trading based off this bullish structure, there is plenty and plenty of liquidity below this. That's for sure, because that's where all the stop losses are. Now think about it, right? If they don't give you the upper wick, which we are looking for, and they actually start dropping the price, the minute they start to retest this level here, they are giving you a 200 pip range on gold. They are breaking past the liquidity area, because this is where you have plenty of orders. So you know, this is where you see all the stop losses getting hit. And then imagine if we see a very nice rejection forming from here, there's a very high chance that we can start looking for a clean pump to the top side, because again, you will anticipate a retest of the 4H 50% area is part of our playbook. You guys can see it. So you've got plenty of scenarios setting up. Otherwise, again, it's coming back up now. Something which we did anticipate. So let's see what sort of a reaction we get at this 1920 to 21 level. Either a major resistance will be formed here, and you will see a clean dump, or you will see some sort of a nice support candle forming up here and a clean pump all the way up to daily highs and potentially past the daily highs. Because again, look at your daily range. It's about 150, 160 pips. So let's say, right, we're looking for a pump now for the rest of the day. Look, it aligns perfectly with this resistance level here to the left. You see this? So I think there is a very high chance that gold can start pumping up now, and they can give you a new high on the daily, and the target will be obviously your 1932 level and your 1933 level. This could be the resistance area that you can start targeting if the buy scenario sets up, and from here up to the daily highs, you can easily capitalize on 76 pips. And if they do start breaking past the daily highs, then guess what, there's 100 plus pips to the top side. But again, patience. We need to have patience, right? Are you in buys? No, we are not in buys at the moment. We're still waiting for our confirmations. Hopefully something can set up here, because I am interested in some sort of an impulsive play as well. This was a nice rejection. This is the candle that's giving us the retest to the top side. This could have been a nice impulsive play, but again, it's not worth it. You know, it's not worth it. It's really not. Nuno, do you mind going over the risk management settings? I'll be right back as well. Let this set up.
Okay. So guys, about the risk management, all the people has different risk management plans. But for us personally, we have a loss limit for the day. You know, imagine we're risking like £100 per day, right? We have one trade, we enter one trade, trade one. We risk £100 to make normally like 50. Okay, 50. The result gonna be 150. And the risk for the day still the £100, you know? So on the second trade, we kind of risk 150 to make 50. You know, gonna be a scalp position very fast, TP hit, done for the day. your risk for the day still be 100 and you're still good, you know, as long as your TP hits, you're still good for the day, you know, and your probability to win increases like very much, you know, because we kind of risk 150 to make 50, you know. That's what we use for the risk management side. And yeah, when we have a loss, because it happens, you know, when we have a loss, we just lose 100, right? And we are done for the day. You guys are keeping up? What do you think about it? Because still a good risk reward, you know, because you guys are risking 100 to make 100 in a day, you know. You don't need to risk 100 to make 100 in one trade, you know, because there's not going to be every trade that's going to like, you're going to risk let's say 30 pips to make 30 pips. Sometimes you risk 30 pips and the trade goes like off the profits and reverts and stops you out, you know. This way you can secure this and you're gonna have like a good range, you know, to play, good numbers to play, because the risk reward can be in one trade, of course, but it can be on like 2-3 trades. Because I know people that they're scalpers, very successful scalpers, that they use like 3-4 trades per day, but the risk management and the loss limit is always the same, you know, guys.
Yeah, I agree. You know, at the end of the day, you need to understand the outcome needs to be profitable by the end of the trading session, right? So it doesn't matter how you get to that point, it's just that you have to get to that point. So even if you have to take 2 trades and, you know, both trades are negative in terms of R2R, but by the end of the day, the result's positive in terms of your R2R, then let it be. That's how mostly the scalpers trade the markets, or even the intraday traders, right? Because you need to kind of like have probabilities on your side as much as possible. So, you know, if you understand that you have like an insane win rate, imagine, right? Someone like us, we have, what's our win rate, you know?
Around 85.
Around 85%, right?
85, 90, yeah, but yeah, realistic 85, yeah.
Okay.
Be his, and yeah,
Exactly.
we can count with it.
Exactly. So imagine now, if we have like, this is with 1-to-1 R2R, right?
Yeah.
So imagine now our win rate with risking 1%. If we can 90%, 80 to 90% secure our 1-to-1, imagine now if we are risking 1% and we start securing 0.5%. So if we can average out 75% to 85% win rate on a 1-to-1, our win rate will increase, right? If we're risking 1% to secure 0.5%. Think about it, right? You see that? But again, we have a loss limit in place, which could be the 1%. So this only applies if our loss limit for the day has not been hit. So in order for you to trade this way, you have to be super disciplined, right? So now we go again now. Let's say we've secured our 0.5. So now on the second trade, what our risk will be? What would our new risk be, you know, on the second trade?
And the second trade is going to be, if you're risking 1% on the first, it's going to be 1.5. Yeah,
exactly. So now you need to just risk 1.5% to make, guess what, 0.5% again. So in simple terms, on the second position, you can risk even 30 pips to make 10 pips. And when this gets hit, you've secured your 1% for the day. And your risk was only 1%. So do you guys see how by manipulating the risk management settings, you can still secure your 1-to-1s, and you will have less pressure on you to actually secure the 1% because you're in and out of the markets but this can only be done if you're super disciplined, right? And guess what? The minute you secure some profits on the first trade, what's that doing for your psychological state? Think about it. You know, you're putting yourself in a very good psychological state because you just saw a trade go your way and you secured profits. So again, think about it. You're not only targeting, you know, it's not just about the P&O targets, right? It's about your psychological targets as well. So if I secure a low buffer, it helps me psychologically, and this is a psychological business to be in, right? So always think about it, guys. So this way of trading is actually super profitable, and we don't, it's not like we're risking 10%, right, to only secure 2%. Our initial risk will always be 1%, and by the end of the day we will also be either in 1% profits or more, right? Because again, remember, you're securing your first trade, you're only securing half of the 1% on the first trade, and now you are increasing your risk on the second trade. So your risk was initially 1%, and now all of a sudden it's gone up to 1.5%. But again, for the day you are still risking your 1%, which is your loss limit. So imagine you're risking 1.5% on the second trade. Now it goes against you. Guess what? How much have you lost for the day, Nuno?
1%.
Exactly. But again, see, because you've built a buffer, your risk has gone up. If your risk has gone up, your lot sizes have gone up. If your lot sizes have gone up, you don't need to secure as much on the second trade. Does that make sense, right? So this way, first trade gave you a buffer and it gave you a psychological boost. Second trade gave you your target. And that's where you have to be very disciplined and just call it a session, right? If you keep going, then obviously you could now risk 2% to kind of like secure another 1%. And now all of a sudden you were risking 1% for the day and you've ended up securing 2%, right? So this way you have 1 to 2 RTR for the day. Most of these guys cannot teach you this because they don't actually trade for a living. But guys, it's not as simple as you guys think, where you just risk 1% and you have a strategy, you secure 1%. No, there's a lot that goes into it, and you know, we will teach this to all of our private members, and you know, much more. We've got so much coming up, honestly. Okay, so price is spiking up to the 50% level now. We've got the New York Stock Exchange coming up soon as well. So let's see what sort of confirmations we can actually see near this area here. Got a resistance level up here as well. Can see price actually giving you a massive rejection from this area here, but guess what? It's none of our business. We just need to see price technically giving us a retest of this, and once we have a retest up here, either give us a closure above this or start spiking itself downtown and establish some sort of resistance here. And yeah, again, plenty of range to the top side as well as to the downside, right? Let us know, guys, do you have any questions for us? If you have any questions, again, there are no silly questions. Even if you want to ask me what a candlestick is, like any questions you have for us, you are more than welcome to ask us these questions. Again, guys, we do need your help as well with, you know, the live streams, because you need to understand we're doing as much as we can, but this is where we consider everyone watching part of our team. If you guys drop a like on the stream, it will help us with the algorithm, and you know, because the YouTube algorithm will see that you guys are actually liking our content, and it will start to push it out to other people, and that would really help us grow these live streams. So guys, if you have a second, please drop a like on the stream. Let's get us up to at least 50-60 likes today. It will be really appreciated. Thank you.
Yes,
Again,
sir.
we are waiting for some sort of a setup from up here. If we do see it setting up, it can set up in the next couple minutes now with the New York Stock Exchange, because you will have the volatility kicking in. And this is where what you can start to do is you can start to use the, you know, behavior of the 4H candle to your it can be a confluence, right? The behavior of this candle here, because we understand that this candle actually gives you a one-sided move. So what are the chances that this candle here will start to reject and start to give you a drop now? Well, the chances are very low if we actually see a decent confirmation above this area. So I would be very interested in capitalizing on a fake out play, because again, what happens with the NY Open majority of the times, they trick you, right? They grab liquidity. So if this is the liquidity play, look, they respected the 1915 level. There's a very high chance that they can start spiking it all the way back up to the daily highs and past the daily highs. So we've got a decent position setting up for sure. I don't understand how you don't have 10k views, underrated stream. Really appreciate it, my brother. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you guys so much for joining. But guys, you know, we've only been doing this for 2 months now, right? It's only been 2 months. And even in 2
We're
months,
gonna be there. Gonna be there.
we will be there. I promise you, we will be there. But again, as I said, guys, everyone watching us, you guys are part of the family. You guys are part of the team. So help us, drop a like, and let's push this together. 100% transparency here, and we are going to educate you on how to actually become profitable. You know, the realistic and sustainable way of being profitable. You know, this is not your 100 pip stop losses for 10 pip take profits. Again, we've also shown you one of our risk management approaches, how we secure the 1-to-1 R2R. It's not your basic, you know, take a position, place a stop loss, and just control your emotions, blah 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 blah. As a human, you need to understand that you can use those emotions. The emotions can either be against you or they can be in your favor. So again, you know, do you understand what we're doing here, right? When we secure the first trade, we're using the emotions.
Exactly.
We're using the emotions actually to help us become profitable. How you have a bias on daily? I've noticed sometimes you have, and otherwise you have a reversal bias. I can't figure it out. Experience, my friend, experience. It's just experience, man. It's just experience. Again, anticipating a pump on gold today, but as I said, it's just experience. It's not something which will come to you by just like, you know, watching us for like a day or two. You need to just carry on watching us, and experience is your best friend. You know, I'm very experienced when it comes to trading gold. I've been doing it for a very long time. So, you know, it's kind of have like a sixth sense for it now. And you know, I did anticipate a pump here, but I just was not willing to capitalize on it from down here. And this is where now you've got the new 4H. To be honest with you, this was actually a decent setup as well, because the new 4H can give you that pump. But again, we only have one entry that we can capitalize on. It wasn't worth it. It really wasn't worth it. I think the next trade, the next candle will give us a trade from this area here, and it'll be more worth it with the New York Stock Exchange open, right? Because this is the cleanest fake out now. Very nice fake out, giving us a very decent closure. If we see a break above this area, I think is a very decent position, and we can use the lows over here as a SL. You've got very decent lows at this point as well to start using as a SL now. Very small SL, not massive at all, because you've got such a nice range to the top side. Yeah, I really do like this position, to be honest with you guys. But again, for the first 5 minutes, you technically do want to stay out of the markets because they could be a bit tricky. How long have you been trading? 5 years. 5% to be funded with this account. Let's go, Manny. Let's go, let's go. Getting funded again. That's what we like to hear, my brother. Lovely, lovely, lovely. What is the entry for this setup, please? We do not have an entry at the moment. We're still waiting for an entry. No entries at the moment. Again, we just need one small position. Not one small position, we just need one position. We're targeting the 40%, 50%. And the next position, again, you're risking like 1% to 2% to only make 1%. So because we are very disciplined and we only look for one trade a day, one trade being the 1% we have, the risk, we don't really jump into every single opportunity market throws our way, because we're not looking for 10-20 trades. You know, we just need 1 to 2 clean entries to hit our daily target. So again, we're being very disciplined here. On the next candle though, I think it should be a very decent buy position in my opinion, because again, I don't see this coming down now, especially the way they're giving you a closure above this. I think on the next sort of 7 minutes, we should be able to take it up. We really should be able to take it up, because again, it really depends how this candle here closes. Remember, I showed you guys earlier, if this candle here closes as a breather candle and it gives you some sort of indecision here and it starts to break the lows, then it's a valid sell-off. But if they actually give you an engulfing bullish closure here, this is just becoming your fake out now, right? Look at the way it's forming a decent fake out. It's again starting to close back above the support area, which is a major level for us. That's the level which we left behind earlier, right? We saw a break of structure playing out, and now guess what? It's starting to close back above it. So if the next candle now starts to respect this area, the only way I think we make this area here invalid is if it starts to break the lows of this 15 minute. So guess what? If we are expecting it to pump from here, it needs to respect the lows of this 15 minute and it needs to start pumping up. So this will be your stop loss. Above this will be your entries with the New York Stock Exchange open, and your target will be the daily highs. That would be your first target, the daily highs obviously. And once you're past the daily highs, then everyone knows the main TP for the day, which is again past the daily highs 1933 level, and that would start giving you a 200 pip daily range, basically a very nice daily range. Again, anticipated this play, very nice play, very nice play, rejecting that 1915 level, which we anticipated gold will do. The minute it started to break past this area, it was going to come up to retest this 4H 50% area anyway, right? This is where you saw the retest, and the minute you saw the retest, now the scenario is over. So the next scenario is either a 4H 50% breakout, which is here, and if we see a 4H 50% breakout, then you've got the daily highs retest coming up, and then you've got the daily highs breakout or the daily highs fake out forming. So these are the next two scenarios which we can take advantage of. So let's see, guys, what happens. We've got 4 more minutes left before the New York Stock Exchange Open is here. Again, because New York Stock Exchange Open is super volatile, you do technically want to wait for it, because why should you have any sort of FOMO? Gold still has plenty of range to the top side. Everyone knows where the stop losses should go now. They should go below the previous 15-minute lows, and above this we have a valid buy position with the New York Stock Exchange Open, right? We just need to wait for a NYSE open and pump scenario at this point, because they're giving you a very decent closure. I don't see why they would technically take the price down. But again, I do want to mention another thing though, right? Because we only have one closure above this area here, the next candle can still technically retest the lows just to see if this candle here is a valid candle, right? And if they start breaking below the lows, then this whole move to the top side can become a retest and a fake out, and then you can also see a sell-off. So it's very important for you to wait for this candle here to come to a closure, and then guess what, you have a very decent range here now, right? And the next candle will either break past the highs of this range or start breaking below the lows of this range. Anything below this will be a decent sell-off in my opinion. Anything above this will also be a very decent buy position, and everyone knows how much range we have now on the intraday.
Just need to be a little bit careful with the spikiness, you know.
Exactly. Do you plan to go into buys in the next 3 minutes? No, we will stay out of the markets for the first 5 minutes. We don't take any trades on the first 5 minutes of any volatile opens. NYSE, NY. I mean, we don't trade the NY open anyway, but yeah, we will be staying out of the markets for the first 3 minutes or so.
Because the volume, then the spikiness is many orders in the market and can easily break the highs, and you guys think it's a breakout and it's not a breakout, you know.
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, I agree, you're correct. I think sells below this are super valid now. The minute we start to break below this, you've got no, do you guys have a bottom wick here on the 15 minutes? Or no, the 15 minute that opened with the the 4H open, do you guys have a bottom wick on it? The 2 o'clock 15 minute?
Personally, no.
Okay, then below this I think is a clean sell-off. SLs go above the highs here. Yeah, I think this is a sell entry. Oh, it's a clean sell entry below this, because again, this is becoming your retest, and now if they start to break below this, I think it's a clean sell-off. It really is. It's still an open candle now, so if the candle has done its job, the next candle either gives you a break above or it starts to give you a break below. If they want to give you a break above, then they need to respect the 1917 level, being again the support area, since this becomes a fake out, right? But the way they technically have spiked the price up, literally there is no bottom wick either. You also have the 4H imbalance area. If they do start breaking the lows here, I think it's a clean sell-off. Honestly, it's a very nice sell-off below this. Okay, we've got 1 more minute left before NYSE, either a spike above this area giving us a decent buy position, or a break below these lows here for a decent sell position. For the sell-off, you will obviously need to place a SL above the highs up here, since it has no business breaking above this key level here. And your target will obviously be these areas down here, the imbalance area, then you've got the liquidity area, you know, again, because you're seeing a breakout below the monthly 50% area, it becomes a very decent position, and this is your NYSE volatility kicking in. Again, we are staying out of the markets for the first 5 minutes, guys. We're willing to miss out on this. Even if it wants to pump, we're willing to miss out. It's completely fine. Don't care. I don't have any FOMO. But if they do start to break above the highs over here in the second, if they do that with the second 5 minute candle, then I am interested in a buy position above here as well. SOs will go below the lows because you've got plenty of range to the top side anyway. It's a very decent buy position. Since the volatility will be on our side as well, for sure. We can start making it risk-free as soon as we see this retest up here. Yeah, above this you've got about, yeah, you can start making a risk-free up there and you just let the rest sort of run. Above this you start making a risk-free like near this area, because this is a wick fill, right? This could be a risk-free area. And from there you just let the rest run, really. You got a decent target to the top side, decent SL, got the risk-free area as well at this point now. And this will be technically your entry area and then in the second 5 minutes, right? And yeah, makes decent scenario for us here. Makes perfect sense. Everything's there for this to pump. It has given you the closure back above this support area, turning this whole move to the downside, turning this into a fake out, or again turning this into a retest. But if this is a retest and the break of structure is valid, then we need markets to start selling off and start breaking the lows here.
And does it make sense like to have FOMO because you guys are waiting like for almost 2 hours?
Exactly.
Then
we don't do
think,
FOMO,
okay.
guys. We don't do FOMO, guys. We don't do FOMO over here. We're professionals over here, right? That's why our trading is very sustainable. We don't have like crazy spikes up or crazy spikes down. Trust me, like I can make 10, 20, 30% in a day as well. But if I'm being so aggressive, I can also lose 10, 20, 30% in a day. But if I'm consistently securing my 1%, 2%, 3%, guys, like 1% is a lot on a big account, you know? Like on a 300k account, 1% a day is $3,000, $6,000 in a 600k funded account. So always remember this, right? Always remember this. But there you go. It's starting to break above now. It's starting to break above. Oh, starting to break above. Ooh, look at this pump. Oof, look at this pump now. It is pumping up now. It is pumping up so nicely. Oof, look at this pump. It's hitting the risk-free area at this point as well. The risk-free area getting tapped. Crazy pump, man. Crazy pump. Wow. This is what you call NYSE momentum. Insane, insane, insane. So if someone took an impulsive entry, your risk-free area got hit. This was about 16 pips. Crazy, crazy play. You in? No, not at the moment. I'm not in at the moment. As I said, guys, we don't take anything on the first 5 minutes of NYSE. It's very spiky, the first 5 minutes of New York Stock Exchange Open. So no, we haven't taken anything just yet. This is why we don't take anything for the first 5 minutes. See that, right? They love trapping everyone. They love to spike everyone. They love it. But yeah, anything now makes sense for you to take once obviously this kind of hit does what it needs to do now, because it has no business technically breaking past that 50% level. So now we will trade this 15-minute candle since it's given you a high, and it will most likely start to now give you some sort of a low. Once it does, we have to start trading this candle here. So, let's see what they start to do in the next 5 minutes. You've got the 50% area here. I think anything above this, if we see our breakout above this area here on the lower time frames, since the candle here, we will start to become bullish once again. It becomes a valid entry, right? And stops will go down here, entry will be up here somewhere, but you need to just let them give you a decent low. That's why we don't enter the first 5 minutes of the New York Stock Exchange open. Let's see, guys, it's setting up very nicely. The minute this sets up, we will let you guys know when we enter the markets. Again, we're just letting it form a decent low because, again, it was just very spiky. It will be silly for you to enter the markets on the breakout. That's what we anticipated. That's what exactly what we anticipated. That's why we stay out of the markets, right? If they give you a decent low now, they need to start again giving you a closure above this 50% area. And at this point, you're trading your New York Stock Exchange open candle, right? Look at your 30 minutes as well. It has given you a breakout here. They've given you a very nice spike up. So what they are doing now is they're starting to form a decent low. If they are forming a decent low, then where are the pullback areas? The pullback areas being down here. So if they do respect this level here now, we are just anticipating this candle here to reject and close as a breather candle. As long as it does, we are anticipating a breakout from up here and we'll take it up. Very simple, right? Very simple. How many likes do we have, Nuno? Do we have 50 likes yet?
33.
I reckon we can do 53 likes, guys. 20 more likes. I reckon we got this. We're about to take the nicest position here with the New York Stock Exchange momentum. Let's hit the like goal. Let's do it. We got this.
Minimum 50 people.
Minimum 50. I think we've never hit 70 likes before, have we?
No. That just was like 63, 64, I think.
Damn, bro, imagine 70 likes. I would be so happy, man. I would be in such a good psychological state. I'll be giving out these profitable entries right, left, and center. Think about it, bro. Think about it. But there we go. Again, let's measure the range on this candle. We are technically just expecting this candle here to form a decent low and then start rejecting, so we can start looking for that pump. Since the position is valid, we're just waiting for a decent low to be established. So if the decent low has been established, then they need to start closing the price back above the entry area and start giving us this entry. So if this gives us a closure above here and the next one starts to break the highs, I think it's becoming a very decent trade to the top side because we've got plenty of room to the top side, right? So in the next 5 minutes, we need a closure above this area, giving us a decent closure on this 15-minute candle. And we will still use the lows over here as a stop loss because you do need a decent stop loss. But I think this candle here will give us a decent entry. Just need this to establish a decent low. And then from there, we should start looking for a pump. Or again, as I said, we've got the other scenario here as well, which is a sell setup, which will be below this. So either way, we can look for something, just need to wait for it. No FOMO, no impulsive entries. Hi, new to your channel. Hey, welcome to the channel. We are on a crazy winning streak here. We do everything with 100% transparency, and yeah, we trade for a living. This is what I do for a living. I trade the markets, and we're trying to give you guys free education and also help you make some money alongside us, right? And we also just trade gold here. Make sure you guys are in our Discord. And do you want to post a Discord link in the chat? Make sure you guys are in the Discord chat as well. We will be doing so much stuff there. A lot of gems coming up. New York Stock Exchange momentum. Okay, seems like we don't have any sort of news coming in, so it is clean price action today. Got nothing tomorrow as well, clean. Then we've got CPI, right? Yeah, we got CPI, and then we got PPI coming in, and then we've also got news around 3 o'clock on Friday. There it is. So the last 3 days are going to be super volatile. Okay, there it is. All right, let's give this a go. on the next. Actually, let's give this a go here as soon as now, because they're starting to give you this breakout. I'm really starting to like it. Let's give this a go on the next 15 minutes, guys. Let's just give this a go in the next 15 minutes. Let this close above here now, and let's give this a go. What we can do is we can also use a smaller stop loss. We can use these lows as a stop loss, right? And we're anticipating a massive pump. So let's give this a go in the next 5 minutes. I just need a decent closure above this area here, because I just don't want this to turn into a breather candle. Because if this turns into a breather candle and the next one starts to break the lows, as I said, they will start dropping the price, right? So let's give this a go in the next 5 minutes. Will you enter on the close of the candle? No, we never enter on the close of the candle. Nino, do you want to tell them when we enter?
Yeah. We normally enter on the break of the lows 5 pips below to be a valid breakout of the candle.
Again, like their own broker prices as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like some brokers prices are different. That's why we kind of wait for the 5 pip breakout, because on average all the brokers gonna be breaking out that level, you know, and we prevent ourselves to have some entry that isn't like valid, you know. That's what we kind of do.
Exactly. If you want to take the positions, make sure you guys are using your own broker prices. We always say that in the live stream. But again, you guys need to understand it's very important, because if you use the broker prices here on FXCM and your broker has completely different spreads, everything's completely different, you know, then obviously you need to take the positions based on your own broker prices, not the broker that you see here on the screen. We don't use the broker prices here, we just use this to analyze the markets, you know. But yeah, let's give this a go in the next 5 minutes. But again, we don't really have any so far. I can still see this playing out if they start to pump the price up in the next couple minutes. But again, you guys can see this for yourself. I did discuss this scenario here setting up. That's exactly why we stayed out of the markets, right? We had no business kind of like looking for a breakout here in the first 5 minutes, and in the second 5 minutes we didn't get anything either. So now think about it, right? When you actually look at the range, you've got a decent range to the downside, because this 30-minute technically needs to give you a retest down here, right? So I think we can also give this a go to the downside once we actually start to see a retest of this area here and some sort of a breakout past this area. No trades yet. No, guys, we haven't taken any trades yet. We're very disciplined here. We don't just take anything that markets throw our way, otherwise we would have taken a buy position down there. We're super disciplined. We stick to our trading plans. So no trades have been taken yet, but that's how you stay profitable in this business where 90 to 95% of the people lose money, right? So if you want to be profitable, you know, you need to understand 1 trade a day, 2 trades a day is the most you should take. And when you understand that you don't have like 10-20 trades for a day, you just got 1 trade or maybe 2 trades max, that's where you just become very disciplined, right? You don't kind of like take anything that market throws your way, because guess what, then you'll start to go into the miserable cycle of revenge trading. If your first trade just goes against you, then you try it again and you're not supposed to. It's just a really bad psychological state that you don't want to be in. Let's just say that, right? So rather than messing up my one chance to make money today, I'll just wait. That's all I need to do, right? So simple. To be fair now, I think even below this, your sell setups are becoming super valid at this point, because again, remember I did say, right, anything that's up here, it's not a valid breakout if it's in the first 5 minutes. So technically we haven't really broken above the highs yet, if you actually think about it. And this is where your NYSE fake out is forming. So below this now, I think we do have a clean range to the downside. How big the SL will be though? SLs will be about 40 pips, and yeah, you do have a clean range to the downside. I can see it. Okay. let's just let it form an upper wick first. And once it forms an upper wick, then I want to see the break below the lows. Until then, this is where they can start spiking the price all the way to the moon. But I think if they start to give you a decent upper wick now, and they start breaking below the lows here, your entry becomes quite decent. But until then, as I said, they can cause a fake out from down here now. So if they start to actually cause a fake out with the new 15-minute open, it becomes a very decent buy setup as well. So it really depends what they do with this candle here now. Because even going based of the previous 30-minute candle, right, you actually do have some room to the downside before it can potentially start rejecting. So let's look at the area. I think we do have some range to the downside for sure. We do. This will be your okay, cool. Yeah, we can just make it risk-free as soon as it starts to retest this level here. Just make it risk-free. Yeah, let's give this a go to the downside, right? We can make it risk-free as soon as it starts to give you a retest of this level here. If, let's say, right, this 15 minutes starts to break the lows, we can start looking for a sell setup. Until then, again, same thing applies. The previous candle ended up closing as a breather candle, and now this candle has a range to target, right? The range to the top side being the wick fill area, the range to the downside being the wick fill area again. So if they start targeting the range to the downside after forming an upper wick, guess what? They will give you at least a correction, right? So the first correction level is the 1917 level. So just below the lows here now to 1917, that's about 18 pips. And that's where you can start making it risk-free. And over here, we could look for a clean sell-off. You've got the resistance candle here, you've got the rejection candle here, and this could be the breakout candle, right? Because again, the first candle that gave us a bullish closure up here, it's not really a valid breakout until we actually start breaking the highs of this candle and actually see a bullish closure. Again, the breakout up here, it occurred with the first 5 minutes of the New York Stock Exchange open, making it invalid. And then then the closure was actually a resistance closure, right? So it closed as a rejection candle. So what job does this candle have now? Breaking below the lows. Clearly, if the breakout here is valid, this candle should give you a wick fill and break to the top side. If it doesn't, and if it starts to break below the lows, then I think this whole move to the top side becomes invalid, and they're going to start selling the price. Again, everything's quite bearish. 4H is bearish. You're technically sticking with the trend. Stop loss 5 pips above the highs over here. Yeah, I think I like this position. It is a high probability trade, and yeah, I think that's where you just have to let the odds play out. 1924.13 as a stop loss. Entries below the lows over here, 5 pips below. Let me put alert on this. Until it starts to break below the lows, again, you have the potential scenario to the top side setting up as well. In order for us to capitalize on a top side play, they need to give you some sort of a break above this area here. Then your buy positions actually do become valid as well. But I think I will kind of stay out of the buy positions until they start to give me some sort of a closure, at least above the 50% area, because I don't like to usually take trades based off these 5-minute candles. Even though if it does start to break above this, there's a very high chance that they will actually take the price up now, right? Because you have all the confirmations. But the only issue is, if you actually look at this from the 30-minute perspective, right, it has not given you a decent pullback either. So if there was a decent pullback, then I would say fair enough. It most likely will spike up. It most likely will. And you actually do have a decent range to the top side as well. But then again, there is that chance that they can start kind of like rejecting the price in the last 5-10 minutes, right? But let's say if we just let this technically come to a closure and we take in the next 30 minutes, then your stop loss will be more safe since you're using a 30-minute stop loss. Until then, because you're just using a 15-minute stop loss and you don't actually have any sort of pullback in the market, even though this can play out, there's a very high chance that you can also get taken out. I can personally vouch for DA. If you listen to him, you'll make money for sure, because I'm about to get funded. My second account, he's legit. he's not AI. Yeah, guys, I'm not a robot. I'm actually legit. Yeah, above this, I think they're gonna start giving you a very decent buy position. But how big would your SL be though? That's the thing. That's the issue. And you do have a range to the top side, to be fair. up till the daily highs. Yeah, you do have a range to the top side as well above this, but again the issue is there is literally no bottom wick whatsoever, and on the next 30 minutes you can literally see this setting up again on the next 30 minutes, which is in the next 10 minutes as well, and we can always extend the session for another hour. Like, this is your breather candle now. Most likely 10 pips to 20 pips will be a clean play above here now. This is your breather candle. This is what we discussed, right? So now you can see the buy scenario is setting up. But the only issue that I have with this is that what if they give you a nasty rejection in the last 10 minutes because you're approaching this mess here to the left. They give you a nasty rejection from here. They actually give you a breather closure here now, and the next 30 minutes starts to break the lows. I think that's why I'll stay out of the markets. Most likely it'll pump up, but I don't care. I'm staying out of it. I'll wait for the next 9 minutes before I take anything else. It's a Monday. I don't want to take anything until I'm very comfortable taking it. Usually on Mondays, guys, I've realized one thing about me. I'm just not as impulsive. I'm very conservative, which again works for me, right? And by playing with us. Yes, sir. But we're not going to let it trick us, you know? Let it trick everyone else. Most likely it wants to pump, but one thing I can see, right? Look to the left. It can spike up like 10 pips, 20 pips. You still have like 9 minutes left now. And in the last 9 minutes, if it starts to reject and then the next candle breaks the lows, that's a clean sell-off for the rest of the day. I think I will wait for a couple more minutes since your 4H is actually still quite bearish, right? So until we actually start breaking past the 4H highs, you're still technically bearish. So I think I will actually stay out of it. Most likely it will pump, most likely, but I think I don't like it. I'm gonna stay out of it. Guys, meanwhile, let's drop a like on the stream. Our like goal is about 50 likes. How many likes do we have now, Nuno?
We are almost there. 43.
Almost there. 43 likes. 7 more people need to drop a like, guys. Let's go, family. Let's go, everyone. Drop a like. Let's get to the top together. We got this. We're in this together, guys. Honestly, we're gonna, this is the most shadiest industry, and we will bring 100% transparency to the most shadiest industry. And so we need your support to, gain that exposure. So everyone drop a like, share our stream with your friends. Let's get to the top together. Again, I'm staying out of this. I'm not taking this. I don't like it. I will wait. I'm not interested. Still got plenty of time. I really don't care at the moment. Not interested at all. Because if this candle actually gives you a nasty rejection now, next one breaks the lows, man, you're coming all the way downtown. Everything's quite bearish, right? And I've noticed one thing about myself. I don't like impulsive entries on Mondays. I really don't like those impulsive. Okay, so if we were going based off the 5 pip breakout here, which we're not, since we're not taking a trade at the moment, I think this would have been triggered, right? That would have been your trigger. And let's say if that was your trigger, you were looking for this pump here. I don't think this is worth it, because you've got the rejection area approaching here. You've got these rejections here. I don't think this is worth it, to be fair. Unless you had taken an impulsive entry from down there, then you would have made it risk-free by now, right? It would have made more sense, but yeah, I don't like it so far. I'm gonna stay out of it. Not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of it.
Just a waiting game again.
Yeah, I will stay out of the markets. Just another 6 minutes. I'm not interested in anything for the next 6 minutes.
Mondays are always the waiting game.
Yeah, bro. Mondays, I'm so conservative, man. Honestly, I don't like those impulsive entries on Mondays. I like to really be. I'm so picky on Mondays. That's one thing I've realized about myself. But I'm like that on Mondays and Fridays, because you know what? I understand how my psychological state can get affected if I make a mistake on the first day back. So I think rather than, because I have to outweigh the pros and the cons of taking this trade, right? So the pros being obviously this can play out and we can make profits. The cons being that if this goes against me, it will take a huge toll on my psychology, because I understand that if I wait a little bit more, I can get something a bit more decent. So it's like if you outweigh the pros and the cons, I think I would rather stay off it. Bro, take over. I'll be back in 2 minutes. We'll most likely look for a trade in the next 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, guys, the entry is not activated. Okay, we didn't took this trade because what about DA is saying, like the pros and the cons about the trade. We can wait just a little bit more and we have a better confirmation for this trade. So does it make sense for us to take it? Yeah, because we can wait more 5-10 minutes, even 30 minutes. I have a really better confirmation that we are looking for. So guys, we need more 5 likes. Let's go. Let's hit the target. Let's hit the 50 likes. Entry is not activated. We're gonna wait a little bit more. Does it make sense for us to something like this? It was a good entry and it probably gonna play out. But yeah, it's Monday and we like to build our psychology on Mondays. We can miss the trades, but guess what? It's gonna give us even more confidence, right? For Tuesday. We wanna be on point. We wanna be like, okay, if yesterday I wait and I miss out, no problem. My psychology is like, I will go for a buy after this candle close. Yeah, bro, you can do whatever you like to do, you know. We are not here like for financial advice. We are here to education purpose. So if you want to take a buy, you take a buy, you know. Yeah, just one thing, like be careful with this zone here, you know, because it can be a fake out zone, you know. Wait, even if you took something, you wait the close and you wait the 5 pip breakout, but then your range gonna be kind of small, you know. Just because of that, you know, your range gonna be a little bit smaller, but that's what I say, bro. If you want to take it, you can take it, you know. We are not here for financial advice.
I would go for a buy after this candle close. Yes, it's a decent buy after the candle closes. I agree with you. I agree. Stop loss below this, 5 pips above. It's a decent buy. I agree. I do agree with you.
I just tell him for him to be careful with that zone, you know.
Yeah.
Zone.
Yeah. I do agree. You have to be careful with these zones, 100%. That's why we're gonna sort of wait for the closure on this candle at least. And I didn't want to take anything on the 15 minute because of these zones approaching. But I do agree that on the break of this, with the next 30 minutes, it's a valid play. SLs go below, because then it has no business breaking the lows. It has to give you that wick fill break past the 4H highs. It's this 4H resistance, man. Just creeping up here as well, because what they can do is, because how many pips away is that 4H resistance? That's the issue now. That's the issue. But again, if you're trading the intraday highs now, you know that it will most likely give you that pump. I think if we see a breather candle here, next one breaks the lows, I'll be more interested in a sell position here than a buy, to be fair. If the next 30 minute can break the lows here now, I can really see them giving you a decent sell-off, honestly, a very decent sell-off. So that's something I'll be more interested in, but again, it just depends now what they do, right? Have we hit our like goal, by the way?
5 likes away.
5 likes away from 50 likes. Okay, last minute now. Seems like we're starting to get like a breather candle, essentially leaving just a rejection from up here. Again, you know, that's why I said stay out of the markets. It wasn't really worth it. I think now if the next one starts to break the lows, then it's a very decent sell-off. And we understand that 1500 candle actually gives you something massive as well, right? With the NYSE, they've just taken the price all the way up. And now let's see what they do with the 1500 candle. This is it now. This is it. Yeah, daily highs are all the way up there. You do have potential range to the top side, plenty of range till the daily highs. Because I will ignore this mess here, and I think let's give this a go on the breakout. 5 pips above, let's give this a go, and also 5 pips below, let's give this a go. Either the break of the highs or the break of the lows, either up or down. Either way, I think the trade is valid now, and it's just a game of probabilities. And either way, I think it's a valid trade. 5 pips above the highs or 5 pips below, 5 pips below the lows, it becomes a valid trade. Either you short the markets or you look for a buy position. Stop losses will be highs or the lows of this 30-minute candle, the previous 30-minute. It has no business breaking past the lows. If it does break the lows, then obviously the correction area is the first target. If it breaks the highs, then the daily highs is the first target. And so either way, your trades are valid now, in my opinion. Because it has given you a retest here now. If it does break past it, then most likely they're coming up for the 4H highs, and the minute they go past the 4H highs, is going to come up for the intraday highs. Otherwise, this again can just technically still be a retest for them to start dropping the price, right? Either way, it's a valid position in my opinion now. Because now you will also get the 1H breakout up here. Short or long, depends if they break the highs or if they break the lows. Both positions, in my opinion, are valid now. But with short positions, you want to make it risk-free as soon as it hits the 30 minutes 50% level, which is down here. That's what you want to make it risk-free. And with the buys, you want to make it risk-free as soon as the 4H highs get retested, basically, which is again not too far away, to be fair. Either way is a valid position in my opinion. Because you have the confirmations now, and this is where you kind of need to let the odds play out. If it goes against you, it goes against you. It's a valid position. All the confirmations are there. There's not much we can do other than letting our trades play out now, right? We have a closure above the key levels. We are now waiting for a breakout above the closure candles. And this is the highest probability trade I can give out to anyone. So, you know, when we are trading our accounts, we are also looking forward to taking very high probability setups. And, you know, we've given it all the time that it needs to give us the information which we need to obviously execute on our position. We have the information now. Break below these lows, it's a valid sell-off. Break above the highs, it's a valid breakout. Have all the informations, the confirmations, and now we just need the breakouts. Either, as I said, this becomes a retest. They're still respecting the 4H highs. They are still super bearish. And if they start breaking below this, then technically they're starting to give you that breakout below the monthly area once again. Otherwise, as long as they are trading above this monthly area, you know, your monthly is flipping quite bullish, right? Let's see what takes place now. Again, you've got plenty of range up to daily highs. It's not really that far away, but again, it gives us plenty of range. And the daily hasn't even moved 200 pips and it's rejecting, so it's a decent scenario in my opinion, a decent clean buy position, because you do not have 200 pips on the daily range just yet. I like it. It's closing above the 4H levels. It's also closing above the daily 50% level, is it not? The previous candle. Let me just check. Daily low is being down here, daily high is being up here. There we go. It has also given us a closure above the daily 50%. But again, if it starts to break below this, then they're giving you a breakout past the daily 50% area, most likely down to the daily lows. So now all the confirmations are there, we just need to execute and trust that it will play out. It is a high probability trade, right? And they've not done much with NYSE, to be fair. They just gave you a little correction. They haven't given you the daily highs yet. They haven't broken past the daily highs. So with the 1500, it most likely will do that now. They'll most likely start to go past the daily highs. So good luck, everyone, if you do execute on it. It's a very high probability trade. At this point, it is super late into the session. So if you do want to take it, be my guest. Or you can always come back tomorrow and take something, right? One H got a strong bullish with no wicks at the bottom. Yeah. It's just decent momentum, right? Because it's a fake out. You can see this is a fake out. This is the candle which we again saw closing back above the support, and from here, daily highs is a very realistic target in my opinion. Again, you do need a risk-free area, right? So anything above this, you're making a risk-free as soon as you start sort of tapping that 4H highs. So let's say even if you give it 5 pips now for the breakout and you enter at 97, yeah, it's more than 10 pips. So 4H highs will also make it, you will also make a risk-free up there. This is where you want to make a risk-free up here, and to the downside you've got the sell entry setting up as well. Either way, you've got two scenarios setting up now. Yeah, looks promising for long with the 1H candle closing strong bullish, or even a correction looks quite decent. If they do start to break past this area, your correction looks quite decent as well. I do like the correction scenario as well, to be fair. Because you're seeing a breakout here occurring below the daily 50% area, which is a major level for us on the intraday range. Anything below will give you a decent sell-off. Today was a lot of waiting, wasn't it? Within this half an hour, I want to see either the highs being violated or the lows for this position. Otherwise, I think I will call it a session if it doesn't play out within this 30 minutes. Then this 30-minute candle, I want to see either a breakout to the top side or a breakout to the downside. And you know, it gives us a very valid breakout because there's a clean fake out now from down here. So you need to understand they need to cause a fake out, and if there's a fake out on the 4H, then they need to break above this at least up till the daily highs and past. That would also equate to a 200 pip daily range. So if you do take it, you want to make it risk-free as soon as you start to retest these rejections to the left. So risk-free area will be up here. That's your TP1 area. Momentum with the 1500. The 1500 momentum. Usually this candle does bring us momentum. So again, a valid breakout will be 5 pips above for us. Keep that in your mind. And from the upper wick, the highs of the upper wick up to the 26, that's about 17 pips, right? Because there's a very high chance of them forming a double top up here and rejecting the markets and breaking the lows.
This is always that character building session. Always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we were super disciplined today, man. I don't think it gets better than this, does it? Waited, waited, and waited. No impulsive entries, nothing. And now we're taking the highest confirmation trade. And this is what you call probabilities, right? If this was around 4 o'clock, I would not take it. But, you know, we understand with 3 o'clock, you do have those crazy moves. Usually 1500 candle gives you something crazy, right? So let's see. If this plays out, it's the highest probability setup I can take. If it doesn't play out, I'll be completely fine. If it plays out, lovely jubbly. You guys all know if you do enter, you want to make a risk-free up there. And let's see. Good luck if you take it. Because the daily range is not even 200 pips. Oh, there we go. There we go. They're starting to give you a breakout. Again, wait for a 5 pip break above the highest before you enter the markets. Otherwise, it becomes a retest. It has just retested it. It hasn't given us a breakout just yet. So entry is still not activated just yet. I'm in. Oh, someone's in. Nice, 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 bro. Nice, but we're not in just yet. Is it a sell? No, it's a buy, bro. It's not a sell. It's a buy. We're looking for a buy position here, not a sell. But as you guys can see, the entry is not activated just yet. 5 pip breakout is required in the markets before we look for that entry. And someone said they took it. I think it was a very impulsive entry because you're literally buying the resistance is a little bit tricky when you do that. It can work out, but I think taking that entry as soon as it gave you a retest up here, it's not really a breakout. Again, different brokers, different prices. This could literally just be a retest on a different broker. So that's why you give it plenty of room for price to actually give you a breakout. If you've taken it, good luck. But we haven't taken it yet ourselves. I'm in. 2 people are in. We're still waiting. We're still waiting for a 5 pip breakout. Very disciplined, guys. We are very disciplined. It's very systematic. We don't just press the button just because it seems like it's going to pump up, because that's how they trick most of you retail traders, by playing with your emotions. So understand how they play with you. But yeah, good luck if you take it. Make it risk-free as soon as it spikes up. You know, these rejection areas are nasty. There you go. Good luck, everyone. There it is. It's coming up. Good luck, good luck, good luck. As soon as it spikes up, guys, your job is to make it risk-free as soon as you can make it risk-free. So again, understand what your job is. Make sure there could be some sort of slippage that occurs. If you do want to enter, don't get any slippage on it. Be very smart with your entries. It's just retesting the resistance at the moment. Let it break out. Let it give you a decent breakout of at least 5 pips or more. And again, it could give you a breakout in a very aggressive manner. So make sure when you guys do execute, only execute if there is no slippage, right? It hasn't given you a 5 pip breakout just yet, as you can see. It's still just a retest of this area here. Still hasn't given us a breakout just yet, which we are still waiting for. But the minute it gives you a breakout, it could be a very aggressive pump up to this risk-free area. So good luck, guys. If you do take it, good luck. Make it risk-free and secure some profits as soon as it starts to hit this key level up here. Okay. Nuno, did we get triggered or not yet?
Not yet, bro.
Not yet? Hasn't given you 5 pips, has it?
No.
Okay. We'll give it another 15 minutes, bro. If it doesn't trigger us, then we'll just call it a session, okay?
Okay.
Are you in? Guys, no, I am not in. We look for an entry once it gives us a 5 pip breakout, because until then, it's just considered a retest because different brokers have different prices. But there you go. We're probably going to get triggered in now when it starts to break past this area. I'm not in yet. We're not in yet either, guys. We're not in just yet. But I think we are about to get triggered here now. There we go. It's about to pump up. It's most like, oh, there you go. It's about to pump. It's about to pump. Again, make sure you guys make a risk free as soon as this level up here gets retested. That's your TP1 level. It's about to pump. All the confirmations are there now for them to drive the price up, at least up to the 4H highs. So you've got plenty and plenty of range. You've got the daily highs coming up as well. Especially with the 15-minute breakout, they can really give you a clean pump. Again, wait for a 5-pip breakout, right? 5.3. It has not given you even a 5-pip breakout just yet. So our entries are going to be most likely above this wick here. That's when we're going to start getting triggered, most likely. And it will be a nice spike of 10-20 pips before we start making it risk free. Because again, guys, you know, if you've waited all day, can you not wait for another 5-pip to 5-pip pump, right? So again, be very disciplined. Be very disciplined. There's a reason we use this 5-pip breakout rule. There's a reason for that, right? Because we've seen it work out so many times now, and it's become part of our confirmation. Because what's the thing you need to understand is 5 pips is literally nothing on gold, right? This could just be an upper wick on a different broker, you know, previous upper wick on a different broker. But when you give it like 5 pips to actually give you a pump now, you give it 5 pips potentially, right? Then, you know, you're telling yourself, okay, cool, it's most likely breaking above the upper wick on 80 to 90% of the brokers, so it's most likely a valid breakout. So we always look for a breakout 5 pips above the highs in order for the breakout to be valid. Otherwise, we just stay out of the markets. We're super disciplined, right? Super disciplined. There it is. But the price in my broker was 192502. Damn, your broker was a 192502. What did, no, not ours, not on our broker, bro. It hasn't even broken 5 pips yet. Has it, Nino?
No.
No, not yet. Not on our broker, bro.
Not triggered.
Not triggered yet. Our entry is up here. On our broker, the entry point is up here. I'm out, took a W. Nice, bro. Nice one. We're going to give it another couple minutes for the buy position or the sell position, but nothing sets up within this half an hour. I think we'll call it a no trade day here. Little profit, leverage times 200. Bro leveraged this position today. He was like, I waited too much. I better leverage the hell out of it. That's amazing, bro. Just make sure you manage that leverage well, because if it goes against you, man, it's a scary game that you're playing, my friend. Still not activated, guys. The entry still has not been activated for us. If it doesn't work out in the next, 12-13 minutes, probably will be a no trade day here, which again is a character building day, and it's a pro for us. It's a win in my opinion. Other than the NYSE, other than the 4H open, there wasn't really any decent pumps in the markets. The NYSE didn't do much either. It's like 49, 50 pips. I think it gave you even less than that, wasn't it? Yeah, 46, 45 pips. And then we're still just kind of fluctuating up here now. Even a sell position from here is quite decent because they haven't given you the upper wick. They haven't given you the breakout above the upper wick. So this is your double bottom forming on the 30 minutes, right? So imagine you've got the double bottom forming on the 30 minutes. You've got the 4H resistance being retested. If you've got a 30-minute breakout here, I'm such a big fan of these sell positions, to be fair. A big fan of them. And look, what business does this candle have now? Rejecting as well. It has no business since it has retested the 50% of the previous candle, right? So if it starts to reject, I think we've got a valid sell position setting up, guys. Ooh, yeah, break below this. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna consider taking a sell position here on the break of the lows of the previous 15-minute lows, okay? And stop loss goes above the highs of the previous 15-minute candle. Okay, we're gonna give this a go to the downside. 5 pips break below. Because they have no business breaking past this area unless they want to start selling the market. So 5 pips break below this. Clean sell off. Which will be 21.46 for an entry. Stop loss is above the highs, and yes, this will be your sell off because they're not breaking past the highs anymore. This becomes your entry to the downside. This is the entry area. Stop loss will be around how many pips on this? Yeah, like basically 35 pips stop loss. 35 to 40 pip stop loss, and yeah, aim for the 40% area on this. 5 pip break below this, it becomes a clean entry. Yeah, we're gonna give it a go with the sell-off, because at this point they're not giving you a breakout to the top side, they've also given you a 50% retest now. So if we see a break below this, most likely they want to give you a wick fill, and we will make it risk-free as soon as it starts to give you about 10 pips below the entry point. Below the entry point, well, let's say if this is our entry point now, we'll give it around 15 pips to make it risk-free, right? Yeah, this support area, we will secure our target on this support area. TP1, we're going to look for a sell-off now. TP1, make it risk-free. So both sides we're looking for positions now. Very decent positions because your 30-minute hasn't given you a breakout below this. Your sells get activated. You want to make it risk-free as soon as this technically starts to give you a dump of approximately how many pips now? It's around 14 pips altogether. That's where you want to make it risk-free, and that would be your sell position done. Break of this, it has no business breaking below the lows here now. If they start breaking below the lows, they haven't really broken above the 30-minute highs at the moment, so most likely is because they want to come down for the wick fill area being all the way down there, and then from there this can run up now for plenty of pips. But you want to make it risk-free as soon as possible, right? It's a high probability trade and everything's there in the equation. A lot of the people who entered the market on the top side, we did recommend that you stay out of it because you can become liquidity, and this is exactly why we recommended waiting for a 5 pip breakout. And the people who took an impulsive entry, you guys can see it now, and you guys can use this as a lesson why we don't take those impulsive entries. We always wait for a 5 pip breakout, and you know, rather than letting this affect you today, use this as a lesson and try to not repeat the same mistake next time. And there we go, guys, this becomes a valid entry now. If this plays out, lovely. If it doesn't, again, we'll come back tomorrow. It's a very high probability trade. Everything's there in the equation. I don't see why this would not play out now. There we go. They're retesting the lows, 5 pips below the lows. It becomes a clean breakout. Stop score above the highs of the candles, above the 15-minute candle. That's where the stop score. Entry, and then obviously you're anticipating a retest of the monthly 50% area and past it, right? Because you do have that 30-minute imbalance down here as well, and they haven't really given you a 30-minute breakout to the top side. And if they do start to break the lows here now of the previous 30-minute, then this is you're seeing a breakout below the daily 50%. It's a very valid confirmation in my opinion. 40% target on this, okay?
Okay.
There we go. Damn, I was about to sneeze. We just went back in. Okay, there it is. In, use your own broker prices. Don't use our broker prices. We have not been triggered just yet. As I said, guys, 5 pip breakout. We will enter. Even with the new 30 minutes, this is a clean position, very much valid. Oh, they might be giving us a breakout now. Again, be very careful. At least 5 pips plus. This can just still be a retest and they can start rejecting the price. So 5 pips below, the breakout becomes valid. So essentially your 1921.37 being the entry area. This trade is still valid even with the next 30-minute open, but yeah, sell off. We're interested in this sell off. But if this turns into a breather candle, then the next one needs to break the highs. Either way, we're protected, up or down. Every time you say there we go goes the other way. What are you talking about, my friend Mike? Mike, you must be new here, lol. That's just the markets for you. That's why we haven't taken any trades. Very tricky session today, and we're testing our mentality. Yes sir, we have stayed out the whole time. Mike, this is what trading is about. You know, as a trader, you need to be prepared for those entries, you know. So when I say here we go again, is because it's approaching our entry point. So we need to be laser focused. It doesn't mean that we're taking the positions. We only take the positions once our trading plan allows us to, right? It's a very systematic way of trading. Until then, I'm saying here we go is because it's approaching our entry point, which it hasn't. It's a 5 pips breakout. Again, why we allow for the 5 pip breakout to occur? Because every broker has different price, right? That's Mondays for you. Yes sir, it's Mondays for you. Mondays are very choppy, man. Mondays are choppy, Fridays are choppy, but it's a character building day. We're not going to force anything here. If it plays out now, we'll give it, because this candle is closing actually quite decent. So if it plays out now, we'll give it a go. Otherwise, I think we'll be calling it a session here. But it's becoming quite decent now. 5 pip breakout below this, super decent. A sell position, by the way. Because guys, you need to understand, we're not market makers, so you know, I can't tell them to drop the price or take the price back up. We're just waiting. But one thing we can do is we can keep ourselves protected and just not get caught. Again, why did we not recommend taking a position up here? Is because something like this can take place. You know, I saw 2-3 people in the chat saying that they were triggered, but you know, that's why you guys need to take this as an opportunity now to learn why we don't take these breakouts. And we always wait for at least 5 pips breakout, because this is just a retest, right? It's not actually a valid breakout. And look, if you took it here because you couldn't wait for another 3-4 pips, you waited how many hours now? You know, this is where, guys, you need to control your emotions. And look, you've gone into instant drawdown of how many pips? 27 plus pips, right? If you had waited for this, you would still be in, you would not be in any sort of trades, and you would be able to also capitalize on this sell-off. Because again, their job is to trick you guys, right? And I understand that this is the trickiest pair that we're trading, and so you just want to avoid these tricks. And if you can avoid these tricks, trust me guys, you can make a lot of money. In the next minute, if it gives us a break below this, let's take it downtown. Should be fun. Also, if it gives us a break above, it makes sense, right? Okay, Very nice confirmation. We just need a break below now. All the confirmations are there at this point.
Bro, it's 30.
Yeah, 30-minute lows. Yeah, give it a go, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 pips below the previous 30-minute lows, okay? Not the 15-minute lows anymore. So your entry will be a little bit below at this point. So go based off the 30-minute lows at this point, or the 30-minute highs. It's the last half an hour. After 1500 candle, we're gonna call it a session here. But 1500 candle is gonna give you that last leg up or last leg down, because they don't have a 200 pip range on the intraday anyway. So we're gonna give it this last half an hour, otherwise call it a session. Because the confirmations are very decent now. It's a very high probability trade. And you're only targeting that sort of, 40% area, so very achievable target. Even with the volatility, very, very achievable target. Okay guys, I think maybe the 30-minute breakout is about to play out. There we go. Maybe they're about to give us that 30-minute breakout. Everyone knows where you want to make a risk-free. You want to make a risk-free down here. We waited so much now. It's very late into the session, but it's again a very high probability setup if it plays out, because you're technically expecting this to be a 1H fake out now, right? One massive bullish candle, next one breaks the lows and goes past it, making it a 1H fake out from the top side. So I'm a big fan of these sell positions here, for sure. As soon as the upper wick is done, they start breaking below the lows. It's a very decent sell position. As I said, I'm willing to trade this 1500 candle. Anything past 1500, I am not interested in taking anything. It will be too late into the session. But we've waited for the confirmations now. The confirmations are here. This is basically your upper wick forming now. We're sticking with the trend. Trend being quite bearish on the 4H, but also being super bullish if you look at it from the higher time frame perspective. But again, this is an open candle, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock is when this comes to a closure. So in the next 2 hours, 2.5 hours, if they give you a dump, technically your 4H is again closing bearish and giving you that wick fill break to the downside. And this is the perfect area now for them to start causing a 1H fake out. So I really do like this sell position. But again, as I said, either a sell position or you even have a buy position setting up here. With the buy position, you also have around 32 pips to the top side, since you're aiming for the intraday highs. And then your 1H is also giving you a breakout, but this is where we're anticipating the 30 minutes to now start rejecting. Since this is just a pullback, they're forming an upper wick at the moment. Previous candle either is a resistance candle or a breather candle. Very simple, very, very simple. If it's a breather candle, then this candle will give us a breakout and a pump. This is the pullback level, which we are retesting. So let's see guys, this is your pullback level. You're retesting it now. It shouldn't go past this pullback level, max pullback level. But yeah, today has been a character building day. I think on these days when people blow their accounts up, right? We've stayed super disciplined. But yeah, we'll give it this 1500 candle to give us something. If not, we will be calling it a session here. But I really do like these sell positions here. Even the buy positions, you have the range, but sell positions are the ones I would prefer, to be fair with you guys. But again, understand the range. If it does give you a breakout above this area, then you have 30 pips to the top side. If it breaks below this, then it can turn into a Titanic for sure for the rest of the day, because they haven't really done much, to be honest with you guys. And those the 1500 candle can usually give you crazy moves. So now the upper wick is done. If they start breaking below the lows, time to sell the markets. only if it takes place within this 30-minute candle. If it doesn't, then yeah, we're gonna call it a session here. It will be a no trade day. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, I think some days it makes logical sense for you to extend those sessions, because we understand that there still will be volatility until like London comes to a closure, right? London comes to a closure around 5 p.m. So we still have another like hour and a half before London comes to a closure, right? So an hour before London closure, we'll call it a session here. So we still got some volatility, and this technically, because of the NY session and London session overlaps, you still will have some more volatility in the markets.
And we hit 49 likes. We need another one.
One more like, team. Let's go.
One more
we
like.
got this. Also guys, if you have learned anything today, make sure you let us know in our Discord chat what you guys have learned from us today. You know, our purpose here is to teach you guys and also, you know, help you guys escape the rat race. So if we're doing that, it makes us happy, right? But give us some feedback. There we go. Last half an hour. If it plays out within this half an hour, lovely. If not, time to call it a session. It's a high probability trade. Stop losses are also based off your 30-minute candles. Everything is there in the equation for this to play out. Oh, I think something happened with OBS. Oh no. Wait. To keep streaming. Yes.